Hi guys, it's Lyra. This is Obviously Dreadful. Obviously, I have a head full of dreads and lots of things to say. Many opinions, most of them unpopular ones. If you're new, stick around, have a chat. Maybe we can be friends. And if you're one of my returning subscribers, I love you. Hi guys, happy Saturday. How are you? I hope that everybody is well. So before we start tonight, I just want to put a brief trigger warning, just like I did last video. I am going to put a list somewhere here, of things that might come up in here. So if you're sensitive to any of those topics, I understand that this is not the video for you. Understand that everybody is welcome. We may also have differing opinions and views on the things that we discuss this evening. We can absolutely discuss any of those in the comments section down below. I simply ask that we are respectful of one another and that we, just treat each other with kindness and understand that everybody is entitled to their perspective and opinion. So with that being said, here we go. Okay guys, so I do hope that everybody's well, and I hope that you've had a great week and a great start to your weekend. I hope you're safe and happy and healthy and all the good things. So if you see me looking down tonight, I'm just going to let you know ahead of time. I have my laptop right here, a notebook over here, because there's a couple little things that I want to touch on. I've really been trying to not make this video. I've sat on it for a few days now because, I was just trying, but I can't. I have to. So, I really wanted to think about it, like, is this something I want to bring up? Because, sometimes I say the things that not everybody else is saying, and that can be taken, however it's taken. So, anyway, and I don't say anything to offend anyone. I simply just try to share my opinion or the truth versus what somebody else may have said, and so on. So, we're going to be talking yet again about Katie Joy, and this, I don't, again, to me, there's just some kind of need for this. There's a word I want to use. Grandstanding. The virtue signaling. The consistent, racially inflammatory statements, etc. I mean, it's almost like a Chinese communist trick. And I'm not sure if everybody is familiar, but I mean, they have millions and millions of people that are paid to troll the internet and influence others. So you could be interacting with, people from China that are trying to slowly influence the world, on a consistent basis and not really have any idea unless you are aware that this does happen. You can look that up. There's also a video that we're going to sort of react to, but I really just want to share it with you and discuss it with you. From Lily Tang that she did with Gothics. She actually escaped Chinese communism herself. So her perspective is very, very, important, I think, especially in today's climate. I mean, it's not like China hasn't made their intentions clear previously on, their desire to, dominate world across the globe. So it's just something to, keep in mind. But anyways, I'm not going to go on a whole thing because that's not what we're talking about tonight. It just simply tied into, you would almost think that, it's like her job. And it's just mind-blowing to me. It's also mind-blowing to me that she rushes to say things before she has the facts, yet talks about people that do the same. Like, make it make sense to me. and we'll get to something about that won't have anything to do with anything else, because she also, and again, guys, this is all my opinion. My opinion is not facts. You can feel free to do your own research. I will share some things. I'm going to leave last week's sources down below because I think they are still very important and relevant. And if you haven't read through them, I think it's a good idea. I will have some more information and some more sources down below those. And I will put some screenshots throughout. Okay, so now that we've had about 808 warnings and so forth, again, she just, it's involving yourself in situations that don't involve you and then somehow making them about you, which takes away from who they are about. I just can't with it. And I mean, that's a whole other thing with her and the George Floyd verdict and so forth, but I'm not even going to go there tonight. So I'm leaving that one alone. Yeah, we're going to leave that one alone for tonight because we're going to leave it alone. Just maybe sometime, but not today. Okay, however, the day that the verdict was read, and my days are running together, you guys, so a few days ago, right around that time, right after, I started seeing news reports of a 16-year-old girl was, I'm going to put the word here somewhere or something along that lines, by police. And then that was, with really no other context initially. Okay. So it was like, what? Like, what is going on? Why in the world? Then it was, there was a 911 call and, there was a knife involved, but the knife was already on the ground, but police still shot this girl, MaKhia, 4 times. And it's like, wow, what? Like, why would they do that? Well, here we go again. Here goes another trial, Following that, I happened to see the video myself, and that's not what I saw. And then I saw Officer Tatum start talking about it, and that's not what he saw. I saw some other people start talking about it. That's not what they saw. So it was like, why is the media saying things that, you know what I mean? Like, they're not giving proper context. They're not giving the proper information. They're not correcting themselves. I mean, I already know the answer to that because it sells. Okay? It sells much more for there to be racial division, racial tension. They want the all-out, they want that conflict. They want it. Certain people in power want it. I'm sorry, but that is just the truth. You are welcome to disagree with that, but I'm telling you that it's true. So much so, actually, that, well, we'll get to that part in a minute. We'll get to that part in a minute. Let's stay on this. So, what had happened in reality was, there was some fighting or whatever going on. There was a 911 call made. The police arrived on the scene. When the police arrived on the scene, I want to make sure I'm using proper terms here and understand, okay, guys, that nobody ever wants to see any of these things happen. Nobody does. Also understand that police don't want to see these things happen. They don't want to have to do these things. They don't. It's traumatic for everyone. It's nothing that anyone ever wants to see happen. I'm sorry that this happened. It breaks my heart that this happened. As a mother, I try to think about in both roles. What if it was my daughter, as the victim in the situation? What if it was my daughter opposite? How would I feel either way? and no matter what, you'd be heartbroken, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's not a winner in the situation. However, so they arrive on the scene in a matter of 9 seconds. And let's remember, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. 9 seconds. There was chaos. There was, MaKhia had come and she was, swinging a blade at someone else. And I mean, if you catch the stills, I'm not sure if you've seen them or not. I may or may not put them in here. That might be a little bit too much, but that's what was happening. And unfortunately, that resulted in the use of, deadly force. Again, nobody ever wants to see that be the case or for that to have to happen. But people also need to understand that that's literally the police officer's job. He yelled, prior to, get down, get down, get down. But it's, they don't have much time to make that decision. There can't be hesitation in those things because it can cost somebody else. And you hate to say that because somebody did lose a life. But we also can't start getting to the point where it's okay to commit and we justify it because police aren't allowed to respond to it. Right at the same time as, and I mean, to further that point, as this incident was occurring, also in Ohio, in Cincinnati, there was a 13-year-old girl stabbed to death. I might have to believe that. I'm not sure. Whatever. By another 13-year-old girl. So police didn't get there for that one. So with that being said, that's what happened, okay? You're welcome to be upset about it or mad about it or feel however you feel. I have to say, though, that I find it absolutely abhorrent that people would try and dox, cause harm to, call for harm to this police officer because he did save someone's life. He did his job. There was somebody that was about to be stabbed in front of him. And you hear, he should have used a taser. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys why that wouldn't work. 1, the distance. 2, the time it takes. 3, you get 1 chance. They are already 40% inaccurate, ineffective, don't work. Likely, even if it did work, because she was already in motion, the girl would have still been stabbed. So there's so many reasons why in that situation it wasn't a possibility. If it was a possibility, I'm sure that's what he would have preferred to do. Anyway, of course, you have then Katie Joy that has to, say her name. Justice for MaKhia Bryant. What justice, Katie? What's the justice? Why are you trying to rally people against an officer who literally did his job? Why is nobody thinking about the black girl that he saved? She matters too. Everybody can't have it both ways. You can't tie every situation back to Derek Chauvin. He is one person, and he got his sentence. Well, I mean, he got his conviction, and he will be sentenced, and his bail was revoked. But this officer followed the book. He did what he was supposed to do. But of course, never without a clue or a concept here, I just find it's terrible. I mean, you had LeBron James literally post this officer's picture with the, it said, well, hold on, I have it here, but something along the lines of your next accountability. To, what's he have, 50 million plus, etc., people that follow him? So now you've really placed somebody's life in jeopardy when he was doing his job. I'm sorry that any situation got to that, but we really need to start asking ourselves the bigger questions. Why this violence in the first place? What can we do to start changing it? We went over those statistics in the last video, and they're awful, and they're going to be even higher this year as far as I don't know. I just think the incessant need to where is it? Oh my goodness. Sorry about that brief cut there, guys. My apologies, and I am sorry if you hear my son playing. You know how it goes if you're one of my subscribers. If that's bothersome to you, you can feel free to click out. I get it. No hard feelings. Single mom life. And yeah, we do our best. We don't need to go down that. You can find the full story to all those details in the old videos. But, you know, yeah. Happy kids are okay with me. Especially on the weekends. We're having a good weekend. And I would like to keep it that way. Anyway, she makes a Instagram post. So let's read this. And I will share it. Let me, just somewhere, okay? Here, you know, here. It'll be somewhere, guys, okay? MaKhia Bryant was already not moving on the ground. And she has a picture of an officer coming around the car after this had occurred. Comes around the corner to draw his weapon. Okay, he didn't come around to draw it. It was already drawn. I mean, it's not like he's drawing it in this image that she shared, so I'm confused by what she's even talking about. MaKhia was receiving care from another officer on the scene. Why is an officer drawing a weapon on a victim that is incapacitated? Even if she had a knife, she did not need to be killed, period. Columbus, MaKhia Bryant, justice for MaKhia Bryant. 1, we just established part 1. It's already in his hand. 2, probably procedure to ensure the safety of the officer that's giving care and to ensure that there is no longer a threat that exists. Because when police officers use deadly force, they use it to eliminate a threat. They don't shoot to kill. They don't shoot to, you hear people, they should have shot a leg. They don't do that. They should have shot this or that. They don't do that. There is a reason for why they shoot center mass is because it is the largest area on someone. The accuracy at shooting a limb isn't very good. And add that in when there's others around especially and chaos, you're risking you're risking a lot. You just can't do that. They shoot center mass. That's that. It's procedure. It's what they are trained to do. That's what they do. We've already gone over why a taser would not have been effective. Do we all wish that it would have been, could have been, that this didn't have to happen? There's a lot of things that we can wish and want about this situation. We can also still feel very sad, heartbroken that a 16-year-old, how did this situation even come about? What, I wonder about those things. I mean, it hurts my heart to even think about. I mean, it's like kids younger and younger are getting themselves into these gangs and these lives of violence and crimes and different things, and it's, what is going on? Why is parenting failing at such a higher rate than it seems like ever before? What can we do to fix it? a big part of it is our need to make it like a family isn't important, you know. Women, you can do it all on your own. You know, all these different things. When in reality, a nuclear family is so important. And if you can make that happen, it is invaluable to your children. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do it on your own. I do it on my own. It's what I have to do. But I also understand that I can, you know, and can still say that of course I wish that's wasn't the case, because I know that my child would still benefit more from like a mother and a father and the children in the home. I mean, that's just the truth. You can look it up. You know, so of course, I mean, but anyways, back to this. You know, you wonder all of those things, okay? And why are we failing as parents? How are we getting into these situations? Where are things going wrong? Why are they going wrong? What can we do to fix it? These are the things, though, that we never want to talk about. We want to point fingers, demonize the police as a whole, put them in jeopardy, because now they're consistently being antagonized. And I will share with you here briefly a TikTok that was posted of how you'll see even kids are tormenting these officers. And then we all wonder, you know, first of all, let me pause for a minute and I'll share it.
Kill me like MaKhia Bryant. Fuck.
Are you gonna stab somebody like her?
No,
Okay.
she called y'all for help. Fuck is you talking about? Get your goofy ass. I can't. And you just said that on camera. This shit going viral. This.
Okay, but we wonder, where did respect go? I would never to this day have the audacity to speak to police like that. You know, I was raised that way, but I also benefited from having my mother and my father in my home. They did divorce when I was right after I got out of high school. But, you know, I know I benefited from that. You know, but I also know I benefited from, you know, respect was super important. You know, it still is. I mean, I've told you guys before, to this day, I wouldn't think of speaking to my father certain ways. Not that he's going to do anything, but I still wouldn't do it. I still think with every big decision that I make, am I going to embarrass my dad because I don't have my mom anymore? You know, am I going to... So, I mean... You have to wonder, and we don't ever want to have the hard conversations. We want to point fingers, but then we have kids tormenting the police, antagonizing them. Where is that coming from? Why are we making them the villains? They saved a black girl's life. I mean, what would have been, you know, so... I don't know. I'm not going to say anything else as far as that goes, but you get what I mean. Okay, so let's go to her next. She was already receiving care. You know, why is he drawing a weapon on a bit? I just explained that, okay? To ensure, you know, that everything is secure and that the scene is secure and that, you know, care is being performed, but that there's not a threat, no other weapons, etc. Okay? And then, even if she had a knife, she did not need to be killed. Well, nobody wishes for that to happen, okay? Nobody does. Please understand what I'm saying. I wish 1,000 times over that the situation would have, could have, should have been different. I know that I do. I know that you do. I know that everyone does. I know that that officer does. However, she was swinging a blade, was in motion to stabbing someone else. That officer has a duty to the person who is being threatened. So, unfortunately, I mean, that's the cost of those actions. Again, I'm not saying that I'm glad something like that happens or that I ever want to see it happen, because I don't. But we need to start understanding that we cannot demonize police for doing their job, for saving someone's life whose life was being threatened. I don't know. It's something yet again that you have to worry about even talking about it, because my goodness, my biggest problem is, though, she does this, she riles up her cult-like followers. I mean, the queen of talking about cults. There's concern there. And that can be dangerous as well. You have a large platform, Katie. You have to be responsible with it. You want to hold everybody else responsible and accountable and cancel them and cancel this and go after this and go after that, because, and I watched her the other week say she's never done that or tried to cancel someone or do something, which is a total fabrication. But it's absurdity, and then we had LeBron make the comment for him to be next. Now, Kim Classic, and I'm going to share a copy of her tweet over here. She did respond to him, telling him, basically, I hear you, but please read a book. The system was created by the very guy that you elected, and explaining to him the crime bill, etc., which isn't true. Like, if we're upset about laws and things that are, you put the wrong person in office. You're talking about the police, being too militarized, but from even Black website, police may, and Biden gets on TV making all his remarks, which are absurdity, but I'm not even going to get into that, okay? Total absurdity, total irresponsibility, and total hypocrite. Right from even Black's website, police may receive more military equipment under Biden than they did with Trump. And again, we just discussed at the same time that this was going on with MaKhia, and, I hope her, God bless her soul. Another, there was a 13-year-old that stabbed another 13-year-old to death and is now charged. So, we got to start facing the real problems. That's all I'm going to say. We need to get real. We need to get honest with ourselves. We need to start remembering what accountability and responsibility are. We need to start getting back to, parenting our children. I know, Katie, they should question everything. And no, absolutely not. Not in my house. And I will be the first to tell you that. If I have told my children no, well, my daughter's grown now, but if I have told my children no, and they know why I said no, then that's it. There's not a debate about that. There's not no, ma'am. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because at that point, what's the point of even parenting? What are they learning? If they can just basically do whatever they want to do. Jen Psaki, immediately over this situation, went out and, she was a trial driving racial, basically calling it illegitimate and a racist situation. And it was neither. Completely irresponsible. Absolutely and completely irresponsible. But, Katie's constant, immediate need to post these things, then immediate with the hashtags, then immediate with, I can't tell you how many posts about George Floyd that day and Derek Chauvin that day. And she hopes Derek Chauvin gets prison justice and blah, 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 even though she's against capital punishment. So how does that work, Katie? Yeah. Well, typical hypocrisy. I got it. Don't answer that. It was rhetorical. Please don't answer it. But this it's mind-blowing. I feel like she race baits. I feel like she virtue signals at the expense of others. And with a platform that large, I find it highly irresponsible and ridiculous. I will also link below Officer Tatum's video on this entire situation and a few others he's done about it. He's done some, I believe, some press about it. I'll check. If he has, I'll put those below as well. He will break it down for you as well, from the perspective of not only a black man, but a black ex-police officer. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention is because of her incessant need to involve herself with everything, Gabby Hanna had posted, and I have those pulled up here somewhere. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to tell you guys. So let me tell you that first. Actually, okay, so how about this? China has made up a word, and it is bai sao. And the meaning is naive, Western, educated person who advocated, tell me who this sounds like, okay? Who advocated for peace and equality only to satisfy their own feeling of moral superiority. A Baizao only cares about topics such as immigration, minorities, LGBT, and the environment, while being obsessed with political correctness to the extent that they import backwards for the sake of multiculturalism. The Chinese see the Baizao as ignorant and arrogant Westerners who pity the rest of the world and think they are saviors. Not only does that apply, in my opinion, to Katie Joy, and exactly why I said at the beginning, she seems just like somebody they would use to troll others, to influence slowly, because that is their entire plan. And we are too dumb to open our eyes and realize it, because we want to be politically correct, because we don't want to be canceled, because we have to be equal, and we have to be fair, and we have to be this, and we have to be that. We are being ridiculous. China thinks we're ridiculous, and they're using it against us. What do you think is going to happen if we don't stop it? We have gone backwards, in my opinion, at warp speed. Okay, but anyway. The only other thing, though, Katie, I did want to ask is why, all these hashtags, right? Okay, even in this situation with MaKhia Bryant, why aren't you asking for justice for Adam Toledo? I mean, I'm not asking for that, but I'm asking why Katie's not, because she is for everyone else. But is it because he's not black, Katie, and you can't virtue signal? Think about that, guys. I want you to really think about that. Again, that was another justified use of force by police. So I'm not saying anything, but what I'm saying is if Katie feels like, she needs to, advocate for justice for all these people, why not for him? Or is it simply because he doesn't fit the narrative? He can't be used to step on and virtue signal to yourself, to be, to grandstand, to manipulate people and use race as basically a weapon, in my opinion. I, kind of find that gross. And I kind of find that to absolutely demonstrate my point, in my opinion. Anyway, okay, so Gabby Hanna had made a post. Let me pull that up now that we are basically through most of this stuff, you guys. And I'm sorry, guys, like I said, I was trying not to, I was really thinking about it, but, some things I think just need to be discussed, need to be talked about. I'm sorry, he's playing with one of his friends. So my apologies. Okay, I got the one, not that one. Well, that's a whole other one with where it's race and over everything. Okay. So Gabby Hanna had made like a video post, okay? And then Katie replied, well, Gabby Hanna doesn't like getting negative book reviews, basically. Ridiculous, okay, on its face. I'm leaving that alone. However, Katie says, I agree with her on this. Anytime women do speak out about lies or defamatory statements made about us, we are labeled mentally unwell and liars. No, actually, Katie, I think you're labeled to be lying whenever you actually are based on your own words, and people can show your own words versus then what you said later, etc. In my opinion. Gabby Hanna has a lot, and then she says, Gabby Hanna has a lot of valid points in her criticism of the commentators that cover her. I have to agree that there is a culture on YouTube that makes it impossible when the cancel train is coming for you to even defend yourself without being called a liar or mentally ill. I do think the commentary community as a whole could do a better job at researching, verifying, and providing a balanced point of view. Okay, first of all, Sunshine, okay? Could you do those things? Please do those things before you try to weaponize race and grandstand and soapbox and virtue signal from it. Please do those things. Please stop demonizing police officers that are doing their job to the public and your large platform, because it is dangerous and it only draws further division. Nothing you're doing is unifying anybody. It's simply trying to make yourself look superior to others who feel differently. And that's gross. Also, again, we just proved that point. Did we not? In my opinion, I think we did. With the whole, she'll talk about anyone that is black, but, what about Adam Toledo? That, I mean, same kind of circumstances, but, of course, nothing to say. Okay, anyway, I do think the commentary, okay, we read that part. We shouldn't make any creator feel attacked or What about what you do to those Duggar girls? Let's not, because I'll do a whole I have plenty to say about that, but we'll be here for about 7 hours, so we won't do that today. Like, they can't even share their side without being called a liar or crazy. Share your side of what? Most people are commentating on the things that you said, which would be your side. Lord help me. Gabby's approach isn't always the most tactful, but given the level of hate she experiences, I am sure there are times she feels fed up. I don't think anyone can blame her. Right now it's entertainment for you, but it is her life. She is a person. Yes, we know, Saint Katie, we know. This, I'm so kind, I'm a good person, oh, look at me, I'm defending everyone, I'm great. Knock it off. I see right through it. Your actions speak right through it. It's nonsense. It's offensive. And that's the problem that I have. But I'm just giving my opinion. But my point here as well is she ties herself into everything with everybody, uses it, manipulates it, twists it to make it about her. I don't understand it. But again, that's just my opinion, guys. All right, so those are the things I wanted to touch on and talk about. I know they weren't comfortable conversations to have. They're likely not going to be popular conversations to have. I understand and respect that. I'm simply discussing with you guys the facts of what happened. Again, I wish none of these things had to happen. It breaks my heart. And I still want to find as many solutions as I can. I am one person. But if, you are a person of color and you need, somebody to talk to, you need help with a resume, help to interview, help finding a job, help with work from home jobs, help, like I said, I will teach you QuickBooks so that you can become a pro advisor with them and start your own bookkeeping business. I will help you, give you advice. Anything that I can do. If you are about my size, I will send you clothes for an interview. If whatever I can do, or if you have ideas, or if you want to chat together and come up with ideas, I will do whatever I can to advocate for it, to spread word about it, to share it, and so forth. So, and if you guys have ideas, please let me know in the comment section, or message me, email me, whatever. If you do and you don't hear back from me, just yell in the comments, hey, I DM'd you, or hey, I messaged you. I will check. I'm trying to get better with my social media. I did just order 2 samples of t-shirts. So as soon as they come, hopefully quickly, because I'm an impatient person, I will share those with you guys and let you see. I have quite a few designs almost ready, and then we will go ahead and launch, so they will be available to all of you. And yeah, so for this video, guys, that is it. I'm going to do a reaction to Tom MacDonald next, because I want to break from Katie Joy. So I'm hoping between now and then I don't have to get worked up about anything. I just hope that people actually see what's really going on there. I don't know. But anyways, I'm so glad that you're here, and I appreciate you. We will do a giveaway at 500, maybe even a t-shirt, and again at 1,000. Thank you for all the great conversations, etc. in the comments. They mean so much to me. I am so glad to have you here. I am so grateful to have you here. We will go live hopefully this week, maybe even tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. And yeah, I just, anything I can do to help, I will do, guys. If you need anything, please let me know. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, please also let me know in the comments. If you don't want everybody to see it, just reach out to me privately. If there's something you want me to react to or discuss, I will absolutely do that. And yeah, outside of that, I hope that you have an amazing rest of your weekend. I hope that it is filled with happiness and laughter and love. I hope that your week starts great. I hope that you accomplish something, or start something, or take steps toward a goal. I know that you can do it. You just have to know that you can too. And I appreciate you so, so, so very much. So guys, until next time, if you could like and subscribe and comment, I would appreciate you. And if not, that's okay too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to me talk and talk and talk. Have a beautiful evening, guys. I love you so much. Bye.